Welcome to another episode of Hello World with your girl Joy from Be the Difference. And I'm here tonight. Yeah, we're going to do a little weekend recap. So I appreciate everybody that's joining. I hope that you had a beautiful day and that everything that you have um, wanted to do, that you were able to do it. And yes, we are actually recording this. So, hey Josh, what's going on? Welcome back. As you come in, please just double tap the screen, like and share. You might not see me catching your comments because we are covering, a recap of what happened today. And then also, in Hello World, we like to talk about topics that pertain to life and quite possibly things that may be a little touchy. Hey, Love Blake Manager, I emailed you. I don't know if you got it or I got to double check to make sure, but I feel like I did email you. So, yes, we're here at Hello World. So, let me know how your day was. But, mine, it was good. I woke up this morning. Um, I slept in a little bit because I knew that I was going to just keep double tapping the screen too, y'all. My comments are purposely off on one platform because I know I'm not going to be able to read it. And plus, we're just recording a podcast right now. So, yes, check your spam. So, yeah, I woke up, I slept in a little bit this morning and I was dreaming some dreams. They were kind of scary. But at the end of the day, I did end up waking up on time. Um, I am still wrapping my mind around this fast I'm going to start on Monday. So if anybody is interested in joining, there are a group of us that will be doing a collective fast, a corporate fast pretty much, where you can participate. The only things that you need to refrain from is recreational usage of, you know, recreational use of things, no alcohol, and no snacking. Now, the snacking part is what is devastating my entire soul because for those who do know me a little bit or have gotten to know me a little bit more, you know that my entire life is surrounded by a bag of healthy chips. And I was in somebody else's live this morning before I went to my event, and the definition of a snack is even fruit. And I was like, I know I believed them before, but we have to read the technicalities of what a snack is. So snacks are all side pieces. No fruit, no cheese, no, crackers, no chips, no nothing. So I'm like, I'm going to be sitting during the day, just sitting and looking at myself. And I swear I will be praying majority of the time because most of the eating that I do is primarily just snacks. I do eat one meal a day, and within that one meal a day, it's already pretty light because it's all vegetables. So I did go grocery shopping at the family's house. I picked up, I know I don't typically eat eggs, but I picked up some eggs, and I feel like I'm gonna just do some, like when I do my one meal, I'm gonna make it really big and hearty and extremely healthy so that maybe the cravings for the snacks will not be there. So and then it's basically pretty much all water for 7 days. No juices, no sodas, no alcohol, anything that has coloring in it, bubblies in it, or type of taste to it. None for 7 days. And I feel like this is a good thing for me. And welcome in everybody. I believe this is a good thing for me and for anyone else who might consider doing this because, you know, I do fast. I feel like I do a lot of intermittent fasting anyway, but this is going to be a difficult fast because it's something that I enjoy doing and it's something that I primarily do. So when you fast, the idea is to really die to the flesh. And I will be literally dying to my flesh with the ever thought of not being able to have something that I normally just eat on a regular basis. So if you do decide to join the fast with us, that's more power to you. And I believe it will be very fruitful for you. The things that you need clarity on in your life in general, or blessing upon, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you'll get closer to God, your maker, creator, whoever you believe in. Maybe doors will open that you couldn't see because of the distractions of the things that we do all the time, and it will definitely, hopefully, draw you closer to God, your maker, creator, or whoever you believe in, because now you are focusing on, hey, please help me to not break my fast. So water is no issue for me because that's primarily my drink. I do, however, because my holistic nurse or holistic person was telling me that to eat a lot more cantaloupes and stuff like that, I just won't be able to do that next week. So I'll just be water, and maybe I'll bump it up to 2 meals a day, because really it's more so of the action of chewing something that really, I don't know. So I challenge anyone to join the fast. Again, the rules are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., refraining from any alcohol, any substances that you delve in, um, that have become legalized, um, any snacking, all of that. Can't do it between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. And after 7 p.m., nothing else to eat until the next morning. And if you want, you can drink water, but everything else is pretty much you getting closer to God, your maker, creator, or whoever you believe in. And that, I believe, is a good thing. So anyway, that was tickling my entire soul all day today. I did have an event, and this is a good topic to talk about. The event, it was okay. What was I thought was so profound is that yesterday, if you guys didn't catch me, I was late. I was on late last night printing some items because I thought I would need it for today. So I basically, oh yeah, so last night the event didn't have a lot of participation, but everyone who came to the table actually supported, whether they purchased a book or they purchased a shirt. Today, I thought it would be even better because one, I was going to be in a church, and two, it was supposed to be geared towards Black history. So I was like, both events were geared towards Black history. But here's what really happened. The second event that I went to today, I did not know that one of the vendors actually is a member of the church. And not only are they a member of the church, but they do all of their printing for their church. I didn't know that until the pastor came and introduced themselves. So you know how that was going to end up. So pretty much all the members came, all the members who did come. Now, mind you, the participation was just as small as yesterday. But today, the only difference is that the support was primarily to the people who went to the church, as far as clothing was. And then on top of that, we were right next to each other. I didn't understand what the purpose of putting two clothing vendors right next to each other that did the same thing. I don't know. Um, so, and even the organizers, I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're going to support, but they didn't, because they were only going to show support to their parishioner. And I'm like, all right, that's cool and whatever, but don't allow another person who, when you fill out these applications, you clearly write out what you do. And in the email, I even said, hey, if you ever need anything custom printed, that's a service that we offer too. At that point in time, you could have said, oh, I'm sorry, but there's a duplicate vendor. And it's not only just a duplicate vendor, it's like basically your family member. And so that was a little unearthly for me, because I was just like, the challenge was going to be even more challenging. And it was supposed to be nothing but back to back to back to back profit. To add the icing on the cake, the event that I'm supposed to be going to tomorrow got postponed because of the impending blizzard that we're supposed to have. So I got the text, hey, the event is postponed, we'll give you a new date soon. And I'm like, oh man. So, what didn't happen today, I was like, okay, to make it up for tomorrow. And now I'm just like, okay, I don't have an event tomorrow. And today was just how it turned out. So the only support that I did get from that venue were people purchasing books. Thank God people purchased books, and they purchased more of the Part 7 book, the pamphlet one. They purchased more of those, and some did purchase my Part 1 book. Yeah, I think it was Part 1. Actually, Part 1 sold, Part 4 sold, and a bunch of Part 7s. So basically, all of the sales today were primarily just book sales. And then also onesies got purchased too. So those were the items that did sell. So here's the conversation that I'd love to have. And I would like everybody to have, their perspectives and think about it in different ways. Thank you for the heart me. But imagine you being a host, right? You are the host of an event. And you, as the host, can see the entire landscape of the event. The attendees, the people that are going to be working, and the monies that you will be collecting. I got that Judas kiss, y'all. And I should have known then. I don't allow people to kiss me, first of all. But this lady came and hugged and kissed me. And I'm just like, at first I was like, oh, don't think much of it, because, that they're just being friendly. But when I realized, never once did they come to actually support Black history. Like, because I had Black history type of apparel, but the reason why is because they were not going to support, because their own parishioner sells t-shirts. So how would that look for them to actually buy a t-shirt from someone else? And you want to know what the other crazy thing was? And this is my perspective. I can't say for sure this is how they were thinking, but this is what I was feeling as I was being there at this event. And as the pastor introduced herself to me, she was like, oh man, it's great to meet you. And I'm like, okay, why? She's like, I've heard so much about you. And I'm like, oh. She said, yeah, I've heard so much about your company. I've seen you, but it's so great to meet you in person. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking, all right, this pastor is going to be like, you've heard about me. You like whatever you heard, and you're happy that I was at your event. That might mean that you're going to go ahead and buy something, right? Mm-mm. that did not happen at all. So I was just like, okay, like, it's like, okay, how am I supposed to feel about that? I shouldn't feel anyway, right? Because it's business at the end of the day. And that's the one thing I have to keep in mind. And that I think collectively we all have to keep in mind if you're a business, that regardless of what people say, all of the positive things that people may say, it doesn't mean that it's always going to translate into an actual sale. So for those who are in the vending life or sales life or entrepreneurial life or anything service related, these things will happen. So how do you bounce back from those type of things? Now, because this happens so frequently, because I've been doing this for many, many, many years, you can understand the different types of personalities that I've encountered, not only in person, but also online. And I often just say, you know what? It's nothing personal. It's just people don't realize the effect of their actions towards anything that I could potentially be doing. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, thank you so much, Lady Ann. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are actually doing something to purposely hurt Joy. It's just some people's loyalty lies within whatever they're doing. So how do we translate that to everyday life? Easy. We run into so many different personalities in our everyday life, whether it be online or in person. You meet people in the grocery store, you meet people at the doctor's office, you meet people at the car dealership, you meet people in the supermarket. Whether you actually physically speak to these people, it doesn't really matter because you meet them in person. Your interaction is nonverbal. I banged you with my cart, will I say sorry? I cut you off in line, will I say excuse me? These things happen all the time, and how do you bounce back from those behaviors? Do you say something? You let it go? Or do you talk about it later, like I'm doing right now? I feel like the more we go head on and approach situations that are absolutely happening at that very moment, find the right words to articulate without harming, i.e., asking God, your maker, creator, or whoever you believe in to speak before you or for you, so that there are likeliness and chances of feelings being crushed a little less. Had I say something to these group of people, would that have made a difference? I think, yeah, it would have made a difference because you would actually be talking to them about how you felt you were perceived or how you felt the treatment was. And the other thing that I observed was that some people, I felt like there were two people in particular who purposely were talking extremely loud and purposely saying, oh, I'm buying this and I will, make sure I open up a doorway for you to have this, knowing full well that I was in earshot. I understand why people do that. I did nothing to you. I said nothing to you. I smiled. I said hello and all of that. But there was something inside of me that they saw that ruffled their feathers to the point of being a little vengeful. Now imagine the situations in life that you go through when you feel like people purposely do things to you to either offend you or to maybe ruffle your feathers so that you're not your happy-go-lucky selves. It happens all the time. And The one thing that we have to remember is we are more spiritual beings than anything. So it's not that the person sees the outward of you, they may see your light. And when your light is shining over darkness, darkness does not like light. So therefore, you'll get the vengeful behavior. You'll get the tit for tat when you don't even tit tat. And then you'll get the stare sometimes. You'll get the Judas kiss. Then you'll get the ones that will set you up. You know? The ones that will get you nice and comfy and cozy, make you feel comfortable with them, and then all of a sudden they go slap. Betray you, the Judas kiss. How do you bounce back? You must. Sorry, but you have to. You have to bounce back because you have a purpose. And your purpose does not stop at the very mere effect of one person that you, one or a few people that you may only meet for a short period of time in your lifespan. I truly believe that all of our purposes are so important that if we're so distracted by the vengefulness that other people may inflict in your life, everybody else misses the opportunity of your purpose being fulfilled in their lives. I'm putting it on us. I'm putting it on all of us. Yes, it is a heavy weight that we all carry. We're human, relearning and retraining different parts of ourselves for the rest of our lives once we are fully aware. Will I be stepping on toes? Absolutely. Thank you for the heart meat. Will I be stepping on toes? Absolutely. Because we're talking about feelings. Ooh, feelings. Especially feelings when they're hurt and crushed because of others. Oh, if we don't bounce back, we can't fulfill our purpose. And if we can't fulfill our purpose, we will continue to allow nature and the things that are not working in our communities and our societies to continue to cripple the next generation and the next generation and the next generations, and the cycles that keep on going over and over again of hurt that will continue to flourish. Thank you. The hurt that will continue to flourish because we can't get past our feelings. So did it hurt my feelings how I was feeling, how people were treating me today? Absolutely. It absolutely hurt me because I was just like, I do this full time. You guys have, this is probably your second or third income, which is fine, but this is my full time. But you knew what I was doing before you even had me. You could have said, no, sit this one out because we only intend to support our own people. Don't have events if all you will do is support your own people. Now, I'm not talking about everyone because I did say that people did purchase books and onesies and such. So I'm not talking about those people, but I'm talking about the organizers who knew exactly who I was and what I was doing, but still led me into the land of slaughter. Messed up, right? But translate that into your everyday life. How many times do we set each other up? How many times do we put people in places and situations that we know we intend not to support just because of who they are? How many times do we set people up, build them up, and then tear them down because you had a hidden agenda? Thank you for the heart me. The purpose of today's recap is not to bash anybody, but it's for us, it's a point and a moment in time where we need to sit back and honestly collect our thoughts and understand our motives and the reasons why we do what we do, and maybe correct it a little bit, make some adjustments. Because in this life, all we have to do is minor adjustments, right? It's just the minor adjustments that make the biggest differences in our lives and in other people's lives. I'm just sitting here collecting my thoughts, wondering, are there times where I know a certain thing is a certain way and I still participate or take part in it? Not really, no. Do I or have I led people into places and positions that could eventually make them look dumb? Hell no. Because it's been done to me many times, so I will never do that to others. So the lessons that I've learned in life, I don't like to repeat that. I do not like to repeat for others because I know how that made me feel. So why would I want to make someone feel the same way that I felt? I know I can recover, but how do I know that others can? Maybe we should start thinking more about that. Even though you can recover, will someone else recover? So maybe just make the adjustment in your actions so that it doesn't lead someone astray. And don't be doing them Judas kisses either. I should have known. I said, oh, well, this is different. I, understand a little hug here or there, but it was the hug and the kiss. I'm like, I did have a little red flag when that happened, but I was like, Joy, calm down. Maybe that's just her being nice and just accept it. But I was a little bit right. She did, however, check on us and be like, hey, how's everything going? How you doing? I was like, everything is good. But never once did she spend a little bit of time to find out, oh, maybe I can support in some small way. Thank you. I am just relating my experience to other life experiences that we all can collectively think of so that we don't really continue to lead these little lives of crushing each other's lives. Because at some point in time, we will be held responsible for the things that we do to each other. Yes, we will. Be careful, little feet, where you go. Be careful, little mouth, what you say. Be careful, little eyes, and be careful, little ears, 'cause what you see and hear can be detrimental to others. Don't repeat. Start speaking up when things just seem a little off. But before you speak, prepare your heart and your mind. I know you're like, well, sometimes situations open up. Well, then wait. If it's not the right time, then don't say anything. But also remember, everything is spiritual. And if we start looking more through this eye, we'll understand it's not really necessarily the person, but it's the spirit behind them that doesn't like you. It's the spirit within that's a little troubled by your light. Oh. And when you do good, remember to ask God, your maker, creator, whoever you believe in, for protection. Because while you're doing good and you got that good little spirit, the attacks will come left and right. And for those who are going to participate in the fast, be more fully aware of your surroundings and what's happening. Because maybe what I was experiencing today was only a little piece of what I'm going to experience while I try to fast this coming week. So my guard is fully up, not to be hurtful towards others, but to know that it's not necessarily people, but it's the spirit not wanting me to actually get what I can get from fasting. To distract me from being the best version of myself and from not being angry enough to be like, you know what, I'm going to get a chip because I just can't handle my emotions right now. I can't handle my emotions, so I have to snack on something accidentally. So yeah, maybe we should be spending a little bit more time praying and fasting and recognizing situations for what they truly are, and not necessarily because it's a person, but it's primarily a spirit. And the spirits behind those spirits that know your elevation and what the result of your elevation can be if you stay on task. So, when they tell you to guard your heart, it's not for romantic reasons. It's for guarding your heart so that you don't make the mistakes of blacking out on situations. Like, I use so much temperance today because I sure did want to say something. I wanted to say something retaliatory, like really loud, like something that they could hear too. Yeah, I did. But I remembered, girl, you about to start fasting. This ain't nothing but a test to knock you off. And to also leave a nasty impression of who you are not to people who want you to be something that you're not. You think I'm going to allow my integrity to be tarnished because of some people who were doing some vengeful, what I believe was some vengeful behavior? I can't do that. But yeah, I'm telling y'all what happened though. But I can't do it. But can I pull people aside and say, hey, this is how I felt? I can, but is it worth it? Is there a time and a place for it? Only if God allows it. But until then, it's a topical lesson for today. So, how many of us are prepared to guard our hearts more? Not just because you may be participating in a fast, but in general. How many of us are going to be more slow to speak and less easily angered? I'm going to try. How many of us are going to start allowing our anger to be healed? Oh my gosh. How many of us are ready to allow God, our maker, creator, to start healing the anger that is so deeply rooted inside of us? I can personally attest to the amount of anger that I used to have. So much so that it made me sick. I had to have surgery because my anger was so bad. And I never, ever released or unleashed my fury. So that just stayed in my system and got me sick. But had I known better and allowed God, my maker, creator, my ancestors, the whole entire team to help heal the anger that was inside of me, if I was allowing that to be released and to let go, maybe I could have prevented surgery. Because guess who got affected? Only me. Guess who had to heal by themselves? Me. Guess who was there when I had to heal by myself? Me. Thank you. Me. So put yourself in that position. If anger is something that you are dealing with deeply down inside, you know that you're angry. Allow God, your maker, creator, to start working a new thing in your soul, in your spirit, in your heart, so that you don't damage yourself. Anything could have happened to me. I could have not waken up. My surgery could have gone bad. Anything could have happened. Because even though it's a routine, when people cut you open, you're sleeping and you have no idea what's going on. You don't know if they're putting anything in you. You don't know if they're taking too much out of you. You will never know. So before anger gets to the point where you have to have surgery, use me as an example of why it's so important to let go, let God, your maker, creator, whoever, have their way so that you can release those things that will deep root inside of you and turn that good seed that you have into darkness, into death. I'm okay now. But I know once I start to get angry, I know exactly what I need to do. Let it go and let God. Sometimes I do just, sometimes you do want to be angry. You just want to let it in. You just want to lash out. Of course, we're human. And it feels good sometimes to lash out. Yeah, but who does it hurt and harm? Ends up harming you and hurting other people. And then further divides humanity into the belief that it's not possible for all of us to get along. It's just little adjustments that if we're all willing to do, how can we not? Will there be arguments here? Yeah, but our hearts will be different. Oh my goodness, y'all. I was watching a video, somebody shared a video with me of another black man who was mauled by a dog, a police dog, and shot 4 times. And I'm like, more hurt. Why do we do this to each other? Why do you hate so much someone that you don't know because of the hue? And half of the people in the world can't even see color anyway. Do you know how many colorblind people there really are? There are a ton of colorblind people. But yet and still, we find reasons to not like each other because of our color. So trivial, yet it makes a big impact. That's the kind of hate that people have. Can we make that make sense? Then I start to think about sometimes also too, like the kids that were in New York tearing up a mall. Do you know, as a business owner, I was just sitting there calculating all of the damage that they did, that they're not even understanding. You are putting little individual shops that may be owned by the actual person in jeopardy because you want to damage or steal something. I thought maybe if we cared a little bit more about humanity and each other, we wouldn't want to hurt each other like that. There are families behind these businesses, even in corporate America. There are families behind people who hold positions. I don't care how high or low your position is. There are families behind it. People gotta go home. How do you know if the actions that you're doing is not making someone go home and prepare for other things that are detrimental to not only themselves, but you maybe? I just want us all to think a little more deeply for each other. I don't care if somebody doesn't treat you right. Can we just dig a little deeper? It's not right. No, I don't condone it. I don't condone bad behavior. I don't condone any of that. But at the end of the day, if we all continue to do tit for tat, then what's going to happen with that? A society that keeps on being divided and falling. If we don't all try to die to our flesh a little bit more, can we? Do we have to? No. It's a choice and a free will that we have. But maybe if you choose not to, then just don't complain about other human beings. If you choose to, then you've now become the solution. Thank you. How many of us are willing to become more of a solution than the continuing energy, light of breaking down our humanity? Is it easy? Absolutely not. But if we don't all start trying to bite our tongue sometimes, maybe I'm just asking for too much. Maybe it's just too much. It's just too much. It's easier to complain than to actually do something about it, right? It's too much. Oh, because the world will never change. But you don't want to put any solutions to it. So, okay. And then people wonder why I am how I am. How could you be that way? How could you be? You're dumb. Yeah, you're dumb for being that way. You're too sensitive. It's impossible, Joy. Yes, it is possible. Because where there's impossibilities, a possibility and solution is there. It's impossible to conceive the whole idea that a little tiny sperm and an egg can actually create a human being. But it happens. Impossibilities happen all the time. It's impossible for somebody to go from bad to good, but we see it all the time. It's impossible for people to go from broke to a millionaire, but we see stories of it all the time. It takes a lot of determination, resilience, and biting of the tongue to pursue your dreams and your goals and to actually do what is not possible. Do you know how much determination and discipline a person must have in order to defy odds. Even if it's little odds, it takes a lot. But I know inside of all of us, we have that drive and determination and that discipline. But it's up to us and our free will to actually activate it. So, will you be the solution or will you be the continuance of a broken society that dies for healing and love? Isn't that crazy? The same things that we complain about are the things that we desire the most. Just like how babies are, we all want love. We all want the positive attention from other human beings. We all want the acceptance of other human beings, regardless of how much you say, no, that's not true. It absolutely is true. Because if it were not true, then you would not show up. You would go ahead and do whatever you feel like doing if you did not truly, deep down inside, want the affection and attention and the love from other warm bodies. The affection and the attention from words that spew out of people's mouths that make you feel so good. So, at the end of the day, the choice is yours. We can continue to be destroying each other with the hate and the vengefulness and the darkness and the unhealed traumas. We can continue to do that, and we can have this little tit for tat situation go back and forth through all of society for the rest of our lives. Or we can choose to go through the storms of healing, through the pains of trying to live a little different, the uncertainty of what new life will look like. So, even though I did not feel very welcomed, I did not feel appreciated, and I definitely felt a little slighted. But will I recover? Absolutely. Will I say something? Only if they ask how I felt about the day. But other than that, I'm just going to let it go and let God heal how I felt. I could be wrong. I could just be overthinking. That can happen too. But I'm not going to allow it to be a part of any potential anger that could build up inside of me to the point of no return, where I have to go end up being back hospitalized and have the journey of healing by myself. The journey of being sliced open and praying and hoping that nobody takes too much of me or not enough of me, or leaves a present inside of me. These are realistic things that happen to people on a daily basis. So anything can happen. Try to stay healthy no matter what. Try to have healthy thoughts no matter what. Try to live a healthy life no matter what. Try to put love in everything that you do no matter what. No matter how many times you have to go through hurtful situations. Try to bounce back and allow your God, your maker, creator to heal you so that you don't become part of the problem. That you continuously be the solution, so that we can continue to heal as a community and a society altogether. Listen, man, Hello World is not about fluff and pat you on the back and all. That's not what Hello World is all about. Hello World is about talking about difficult situations, human situation, realistic situations that maybe we need to face, front face, full face, and attack and remodel and reconfigure. Make the little adjustments so that we can live on our purposes, so that we can be a little bit more WHOLE, so that we can see things through spiritual eyes more than through the physical, so that we will rely more so on praying and fasting to give us what we need in order to not become part of the problem, but to become a better solution. Hmm? Hmm. So, tomorrow got canceled. That's fine. It is what it is. The event will happen. But now, I can focus more on preparation of this fast that I'm just so scared of. Y'all, this reminds me of when I fasted from music. It was so hard because music is my life. And actually, fasting from music was just as bad as the idea of fasting from snacks. It hurts just thinking about it. But I know in the long run, it's only 7 days. But it's going to be worth it because I can be a better joy, so I can show up better, so that my light can be a little bit more bright. And that when darkness comes, it won't defeat me as quickly or as easily. Then I'll be able to identify it for what it truly is than what I don't recognize and I can assume that it could be. But I can see it for what it truly is. And I can hold myself accountable for when I start to go off on the edge, you know, that big toe going off the edge, ready to snap. Oh, I could do a quick little snapping if I wanted to, but I just can't. I just can't. Because I know if I snap, here's what's going to happen. It's going to feel good for only an instant, but then I'll immediately think about the harm that I just caused. Then I'll immediately think about how much people are probably not going to see me for who I truly am, but for the moment in time that they experienced versus all of the work that I've been doing all my life. In an instant. So, when people feel like they get over on me, nah, it's not that at all. It's just, I care too much about you, and I care too much about the legacy that I'm leaving and building to allow it to be destroyed by one moment of satisfactory snapping. Because I sure could have snapped today. I died to my ego and my pride one more time. But here's the thing. I recognize it's more spiritual than anything. And I recognize that I don't have to linger and let it sit and fester in my soul. So I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to ask God, my maker, my ancestors to please heal my broken heart. Because my little heart was hurting. Why are you going to do me like that? Huh? How you going to do me like that? Huh? It is what it is. I'm being honest. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you can't. Doesn't matter at the end of the day. I'm not here to judge anything that you do or say. Because guess what? When the finger is pointed this way, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of leaks and holes. So I'm going to leave it be. Long story short, life is spiritual. We're just in fleshly bodies. Sometimes we only get one chance to positively or negatively affect a ton of people. And the more that we decide that it's okay to die to our flesh, you ain't no punk. You're not letting things go. You're just allowing God, your maker, your creator, your ancestors, whatever you believe in, to position you into greater things because you allowed your flesh to die more so that you could be used more for positive. And so that your words have more weight to it. Because now you are leading with a better spirit, with better support. I'm talking about God creator, you know what I'm saying? Because now you'll be given more because you handled what little you had to the best of your ability. So now you'll be given more. Now imagine if it was that simple that you would get more blessings in life when you died more to your ego and your flesh. Would you be more willing? If you knew that was the outcome, would you be more willing to be loving, to be a little bit more tolerant? I don't know. I don't do things for blessings. I just do things to be a solution. Because I'm not going to be part of the complaints anymore. I made that decision years ago. So if I have to stand by myself, then that's fine. But my walk is more important to a whole lot of other people who need whatever purpose that I have in this life than my own self. Yeah, I'll take my rest here and there. No, let's not get it twisted. I take my rest here and there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, tag me out of the game for a minute. I can't take this no more. Yes, I do. I'm human at the end of the day. But at least I know that I do need to get out sometimes. But I come right back in, hopefully a little bit more strong, a little bit more knowledgeable, and a better heart. So that this world, when I take my last breath, will know more about healing, more about loving than when I left it. Well, than when I came. When I first started. Yeah. And that there will be more people who will decide to use their free will to be a better example. Because it's worth it in the long run. It is. How? I don't know, but I'm still here. All of my needs are provided for. I usually don't want for or need for anything. I mean, of course, I do want some things, but you know, I'm working on it. But I'm just saying, my basic needs and everything is provided for, so I guess I'm doing something right. Anyway, y'all, Hello World is whenever I can do it, or whenever the spirit leads me to do it, or whenever I have situations like this arise that I feel like we can learn from. And other than that, Be the Difference is all about printing positive messages on clothing. Because I do believe that we are creatures of absorption. And the more we see anything is what we become. So if I can positively put into our communities messages of, sorry, let me hold myself back, messages of light, love, and also, I can't think of the word right now, but not giving up. That's what we do. Am I perfect at it? No. I fall a lot, but I'm trying. That's the best that I can do. And I'll try even better when I overcome more of the traumas in my life that I've gone through. And this was a trauma today, whether you want to call it a trauma, it is, because it affected me. So once I heal from that, I can move forward. But other than that, we do print for everyone else too. So if you have custom things that you want printed, let us know. We'll be more than happy to do it for you. Whether it be embroidery or printing or just transfers, we can do that. And if you need encouragement, go on over to the YT channel. If you like podcasts, I have a ton of content over there. You can watch as many or listen to as many of the episodes of Hello World if you would like. It's all up to you, but Hello World will challenge you in so many different ways because it challenges me. Half the times I don't be knowing what I'm saying. It's just be like, what? But let's heal more. Collectively, let's heal more. Let's do more things to be lights so that there's a little less darkness, a little bit more each day. Oh, I've been on here for an hour. What time is it? It's 7:30. Oh, I gotta eat something. I didn't eat all day. I've been snacking. Oh my goodness. I might have an event on Thursday, and if I do, what am I gonna do? Usually I just snack throughout the events. Oh, the tragedy. Someone be offense. Help me, please. Hopefully by Thursday I would have already had all the withdrawal of snacking already gone. Hopefully, but please be offense. Oh my gosh. It hurts just to think about it. But hey, I ain't no punk. I'ma do it. Regardless of I ain't no punk. My will is a little bit stronger than my flesh at this point. So anyway, y'all, I appreciate all of you who have been here. Whether you have come or gone or just listening in the skybox or left or whatever taps, gifts, or whatever you did, I appreciate you. But please challenge yourself. Do this fast with us. And even if you don't do it with us, do it for yourself. We can all die a little bit more to our flesh so that we can be a little bit more WHOLE. And that we'll be a little less confused with life. Because we've given up more of our untrained minds. So like I was saying, I'm here, mostly when I print. But with Hello Worlds, it just happens whenever now. I can't give you a specific date or time. I used to do it every day, but when the comments are off, that means that we're doing and filming a Hello World because it's permanently evergreened on the YT streets. So I don't want the video to be like, hi, 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 constantly. Because when I'm gone, 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now, somebody's going to see Be the Difference. And someone's going to see Hello World. And it's going to positively affect them right when they need it most. That's beautiful. And if that means I have to die to my flesh more, I'll do it. Because if my presence means that much after life, dang, that feels good. And your lights will be that same presence. Just continue to die to yourself. Allow God, your maker, creator, or whoever you believe in, to really navigate your life. And I guarantee you, you will be in history. And you will help elevate more people than you could have ever imagined. And that's worth, to me, all of the dying of the flesh that you can do. Every single one of us has a purpose and a plan. But we can't do it when we're always being our own self, leading our lives with the limited belief and expectations that we have. At some point in time, we have to realize that if we cannot do anything without God, our maker, creator, or whoever you were raised to believe, or whatever the case may be, I guarantee you, our world is changing for the better. Little by little, but it's still changing for the better. Never give up on that idea or that desire, please. Your unborn grandchildren, kids, or whatever will be thanking you later on in life. They'll have less of a fight to fight, maybe. But at least they could say you tried. So yeah, follow us on every platform at B as in boy, T as in Tom, D as in dog, LLC, or Be the Difference Clothing. There's content all over the place, so feel free to check it out. If you want to support the brand, go on ahead and hit the links if you have one in your chat, or go to the link in the description. It's better to do that. The whole site is on sale. I'm just saying. I appreciate you guys. Again, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for your time. That's probably most important. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And thank you for considering changes that you want to make in your own life to be a better person for our communities and to leave a better footprint. Thank you. Thank you for believing that you can and you will be the difference. And that is possible. Thank you for deciding to heal even more. Thank you for wanting to walk on your journey. May you continuously be blessed in everything that you do. May your heart continue to grow. May all of the healing show and be evident in how you sow. SOW. In the future, or even right now. My name is Joy from Be the Difference, and I am signing out on another episode of